Welcome to Base Sunday, everyone. I'm your host, Frank Malakote. We begin with our weekly pitch. If you got a show idea, we'd love to hear from you. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Base Sunday. Comment to the page, and hopefully we can get in touch. All right, let's begin. I bet you didn't know you have over 200 different bones in your body. And as you get older, keeping those strong and fit is key to a healthy life. Not always the case for some, and that sets the table for our first guest, the Executive Director from American Bone Health, Kathleen Cody. How are you?
Good morning, Frank.
And I got to tell everyone, we know each other. Our station is a sponsor of your charity golf tournament, and we just played a couple weeks ago.
It was a great tournament. We had a good time, and we've been working with you since 2009 on awareness campaign, so we're really glad to have you as a partner.
Well, it's a great cause, and good to have you on Base Sunday. And I guess there's 206 bones. Your femur's the biggest bone.
Yeah.
And your ear, I guess, a little bone in your ear is about the size of a grain of...
A teeny weeny bone in your ear.
And we really got to take care of ourselves, don't we?
Well, people they don't think about their bones, and the bones are really important. It provides structure for our body. It helps us get around, and they're actually the storehouse for lots of minerals, especially calcium.
Sure.
So they're not just something to hang your skin on. They're really an important part of your body.
Literally.
Yes.
And American Bone Health, what do you folks do?
What we're trying to do is have people understand enough about the importance of bone health so that they take care of them. And it's especially important as people get older, because that's when we start to lose bone density. And when you lose bone density, you're subject to having broken bones. And what we're trying to prevent is broken bones. So we're educating people to go out in the communities and talk to their neighbors and their friends and their family about how to prevent bone loss and fractures.
And I think prevent is the key word there, because there's a lot of preventable fractures. The numbers here that you supplied here, 2 million preventable fractures, loss of productivity at work, what it does to the healthcare system, and it just all kind of trickles down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because a lot of them are preventable, and what people don't understand is that if they have a fracture that is because they tripped and fell, and one of the most common ones when you're in your 40s and 50s is one in the wrist, where you trip and you hold your hands out and the bone breaks.
Right.
That should be a red flag. And people need to sit up and say, why would my bone break? Because bones are really meant to be pretty strong and really take care of you through your whole life. So those people need to talk with their doctor about maybe getting a bone density test or evaluating their bone health to see if there's something going on that they need to take care of.
How about spine? I guess the spine is, you brought in your friend here.
I did. I brought my friend, and this is a model of a spine, and these are the most devastating fractures in my opinion because they're very silent. You don't really know that they're happening, and this is an example of a bone that's quite dense and compact, and you can see it's very sturdy. As you get osteoporosis, you start to lose the density in the bone, and you can sort of see here that there are holes that begin to form.
Right.
And what happens is these bones will not stand up to very much impact. So if you're spending a lot of time rounding over or picking up a small child
or running,
those bones will collapse if they don't have enough support. So what we want to do is prevent this bone loss from happening. And sadly, you don't really feel these spine fractures from occurring. So the first sign that there's something wrong is you start to shrink.
Yeah, you're a little bit shorter, right?
You're a little bit shorter. So anything more than 1.5 inches of height loss probably has to do with fractures in the spine that are causing those bones to collapse.
Osteoporosis, tell our viewers exactly what that is.
Well, osteoporosis is a condition where your bones start to lose their density, and it puts them at more risk for fracturing, especially in the spine and the hip. Those are some of the most common areas.
And interesting, working with you, I've discovered it's not just for older people.
Oh.
I mean, there are 30 and 40-year-olds that are going through this, right?
Yeah, so there's really important other things that can contribute to bone loss. If you don't get enough calcium and vitamin D in your diet, you may have some kind of condition that requires that you take steroids for something, say asthma or a rheumatoid arthritis. Those people lose bone density, and they're at higher risk for having a fracture.
I know you've got a big event coming up thanks to the folks at Walgreens. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, our friends at Walgreens are letting us go into 65 stores in California, and we're going to be doing a screening and awareness event. It's called Freedom from Fractures, and on July 12th we're mobilizing 260 of our peer educators to go into the stores and help talk to people about fracture risk and how they can reduce their fracture risk.
And it's free, right? Go
It's
in,
free.
sit down, chat.
It's free, and
that
it's
kind of
great
thing.
because we're working with the pharmacy division, and the pharmacists are actually going to be on hand to talk with people who are at very high risk. So it's a great way for people to learn about their bone health.
All right, Kathleen. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for bringing. Do we have a name for this?
This is
guy?
Mr. Bones.
Okay, Mr. Bones. Thank you, Mr. Bones.
Thanks,
Great,
Frank.
Kathleen. Thanks for coming
to
in.
see you.
We appreciate it. If you'd like more information about American Bone Health or Mr. Bones there, you can log on to AmericanBoneHealth.org. That's AmericanBoneHealth.org. Back with more Bay Sunday right after the break. Stay there.